What is up, you beautiful people? It's Adam D, bringing you the most broken Ranger build you will ever see. It basically lets you get your ultimate instantly, all the time. Like every single minute you'll be ulting, and it's so easy. If you hate the Ranger, you'll love this build because it makes it sick. If you like this guide, please like, comment, subscribe so you can get the sickest guides for Anthem and be entered into some dope giveaways for free games. Let's go check out the build. Okay, you guys, the number one most important part of this entire build is this, your grenade slot. You're gonna want to have Last Argument, which is the upgraded frag grenade, the masterwork version of the frag grenade, because it is amazing. It is hands down the best Ranger ability, period. End of discussion, okay? Look at the effect. Hitting enemies adds 700% ultimate charge. That's hitting enemies, just tapping enemies. No combos needed. It doesn't matter if they have shields. It doesn't matter if you tickle them. If you tap an enemy, especially a group of enemies with this, you get a ton of ultimate charge back. A ton. And so ideally, a perfect roll on this would be having extra gear charges in the inscriptions, because then you can throw out more frag grenades and you can make this build even more broken than it already is. But you're going to want to have this. This is the bare minimum needed for this build. Okay? Next, Assault Launcher. I like Tactical Onslaught. I am a huge fan of being able to prime and detonate your own targets, and Tactical Onslaught is probably the best primer in this slot for the Ranger. Okay, at a base level, it gives your Venom Darts more charges, but ideally you would want even more charges. You can spam this out all day long. It increases your physical damage to the targets, it primes, and because you can spam it out, you can get multiple characters hit with it and combo your frag grenade even harder, which gives you even more ultimate charge. I mean, this ability is also super sick, okay? Remember, acid is a damage amplifier. It amplifies the damage of anything that is hitting the target, okay? That includes bosses, so it absolutely lights up bosses, all right? For weapons, I always go with my Avenging Herald. Since the loot changes, I rerolled and made a bunch of them, so now I have plus 20% weapon damage, plus 100% physical damage. You can have whatever you want on it. I would highly recommend going and increasing that multiplier of damage, because obviously this pistol is the best thing in the game. It's absolutely broken. Use it, love it. I promise it will not let you down. For your secondary, you can really use whatever you want. I'm using this Rainer's Blaze because it increases my shields by an absolute crap load, which gives me more survivability. It also lets you prime targets with if you get on a hit streak, so it can be really useful. But honestly, you can. This slot is totally up to you. For support gear, I always use muster point, more damage. That's what you want to do. If you really need bulwark point, it doesn't really work that well at grandmaster, so just ditch it and learn to be better. For components, okay, components honestly don't play a huge part into this build, okay? They can definitely assist you, like you're gonna want increased survivability, but overall the core of this build is the frag grenades. However, there are a couple that significantly increase your damage output, all right? Blast damage is any damage that is an AoE in this game, okay? So, which means the frag grenade. So Victor's Resolve, it doesn't need to be legendary, increases your blast damage, and performing a multi-kill instantly restores 25% maximum armor. You're going to be spamming your ultimate out, you're going to get some multi-kills. This helps you stay alive. It's awesome. Tip of the Spear, another one. The Ranger's combo ability increases combo damage. It makes combo damage a critical strike. So whenever you can perform a combo, it restores even more armor to you and nearby allies. So why wouldn't you use this? This is your, this is your bread and butter, right? You want to do combo damage. Even though for this build, you do not need combos to get your ult up. I want to just reiterate that. Combined arms increase your grenade damage. Obviously, this is helpful. Defeating enemies with your Venom increases your frag grenade damage by 60%. That's always nice. Badge of Devastation increases your assault launcher by 5%. This part is really nice. Performing a large hit streak, 10, will instantly add 1 ultimate charge. 1 ultimate charge, if you don't know, it's not a full ultimate bar. It is just one little blip-like increase on your ultimate bar. But that adds up over time when you're massively hitting everybody with your ultimate and with frag grenades. So anything to speed up your ultimate is the goal of this build, right? Defensive Bulwark, increase all weapon damage. Can't go wrong with that. On low health, increases your gun damage. This doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, it helps, but you're reducing your physical damage with this. You're reducing your impact damage, which is most gun damage, with the Victor's Resolve, so it doesn't really matter. And General's Favor increases your assault launcher recharge by 35%. You want to be pumping out your frag grenades. You want to be pumping out your venom so that you can keep building up that ultimate, right? The secondary part of this, it just sucks. You shouldn't be in melee range with the Ranger. It's just not a good idea, especially in Grandmaster 2. Overall, your goal of this build is to spam out that Venom Dart and hit the frag grenade in groups of enemies. Any kind of group of enemy, you want to just throw it out there. You do not need a combo. It's obviously increases your ultimate charge even more if you can get a combo off, but it is not necessary by any means, okay? And remember, Venom destroys armor, so any boss creature, it's gonna wipe the floor with them. All right, your frag grenade is your bread and butter. You want to be using that on cooldown as much as you can. Even if you're only able to combo and hit one enemy with this frag grenade, as you'll see in later footage, it still gives you about a quarter of your ultimate back, which is insane. So overall, all this together is going to make it so you can basically ult at the very least every single minute. Now, let's go check out some more footage. Alright guys, so the general play style of this build is to just be spamming out your primer while tossing frag grenades into as large groups of enemies as you can possibly find. For me, this usually gives back at least a quarter to about half a bar of my super bar, depending on the size of the enemies that you're facing, okay? So you see that I'm going to use my ultimate, and then I'm basically going to try and seek out large groups of enemies or enemies that I can prime and toss my frag grenade on in order to get that charge back quickly. Now you'll see, even though I only threw my frag grenade at one person there, it still gave me back a large amount of ultimate, right? And you want to be prioritizing those armored targets because your acid is going to reduce their damage resistance and increase your damage done to them. You see, when I hit a large group of enemies, 3 of them with the frag grenade, even if they're not primed, I'm still getting back so much ultimate energy, and already my ultimate is back up and ready to be used again. Okay, now if you don't like the Ranger, this really is the build for you because it's basically just all about spamming your ultimate out there. You don't have to combo enemies. You do not have to combo enemies because the frag grenade ability is not based on combos, it's just based on hits. So if you can find targets to hit, then you can find targets to spam your ultimate on, and you can find targets to get your ultimate back. It's really that simple, and that's why it's such an effective build, even in Grandmaster 2 and 3, okay? The enemies that have lots of armor, they're a lot of times the ones that are the most trouble, along with the shielded ones. And this build lets you rip right through them and get your ultimate back at a very, very fast pace. Now, if you have if you're lucky enough to have a frag grenade that rolled with multiple charges, you're going to be even doing this faster, and that's going to be my next goal, is to try and get one with multiple gear charges. But as you know, it takes forever to get those masterwork ability blueprints, so I'm working on it, guys, I promise. But really, this is what the build is all about. Going out, getting these hits on large groups of enemies, and just getting your ultimate back. I mean, look at that. That took me about 30 seconds to get my ultimate back. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Especially if you're fighting bosses, like, say, for example, the Tyrant Mines boss. When a wave of ads comes out, you can basically have an ultimate up every single wave of ads and to be used on the boss. Because the Ranger ult, while it does okay AoE damage, really, if you get it on a single target, that's when it truly starts to shine and absolutely blows people up. And make sure when you're ulting, if you're trying to prioritize a target, get the acid on them first. Use muster point and then use your ultimate. That way you're doing increased damage. Your damage is obviously being multiplied by the acid damage as well. And so you want to, obviously, before you use your ultimate on any character, buff your character up as much as possible and debuff the enemy as much as possible so that you can just destroy them. Alright? Now, I really appreciate everybody for watching this video. If you found this useful in any way, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what kind of guide you want to see next. Tell me what you would rate this build on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me why, and tell me what your builds are going forward. I originally thought the Ranger wasn't that fantastic. I still don't think he's necessarily top tier, but this build, I'm really enjoying it, and I think that with some proper inscription rolls and increased blast damage, you're going to be absolutely destroying people, even on Grandmaster 2 and 3 with this build. But overall, it's a very fun build. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I can do some dope giveaways for you guys. So please stay tuned. Love you so much. Adam D out.